The founder of Chipotle opened his first restaurant 31 years ago. And since then, Steve Ells has revolutionized fast food. There's a whole category of restaurants called fast casual, all built on the Chipotle model. Now, Ells is looking to upend the industry again with Colonel, a robot-powered restaurant serving plant-based foods. Sounds weird? That's kind of the point. Colonel opened their first restaurant in downtown Manhattan 3 months ago, but it's been quite different from a usual grand opening. The idea is that as Colonel scales, it will employ vastly fewer employees than a normal fast food chain. Ells is already working on opening the second store and says this thing is built to scale fast.
Again, I did not have a technology background when I started this.
Right.
I just had a vision for the hub and spoke model whereby there would be this logistical piece to get the food frequently from the prep kitchen to the restaurant, and that once the food is inputted into the platform, right, then the cooking and production could take place with a lot of automation, with as little human intervention as possible. So today it requires the human touch, but I think in the future it will not. And in order to power that, we have a team of engineers and programmers who are doing a fantastic job. At Colonel, we have a dedicated team. My central kitchen is on 14th Street between 5th and 6th. It'll easily cover all the downtown locations. We have a great chef and his small team of people. We pack that prepped food up every hour into totes and deliver it to the restaurant. Now, so the first restaurant at 24th and Park Avenue is just a mere 6 minutes away. And so the way that works is we load the totes onto a wagon. The wagon is pulled by a bicycle. 6 minutes later, we're loading that prepped food into the system.
The first employee they had to train was this guy. And yes, he's a multi-$1,000 KUKA robot arm with a specialized hand. He picks up trays of prepped food, puts them in the oven, and takes them out when they're ready. The KUKA robot arm works with just 3 employees at Colonel, far fewer than the average Chipotle. And together, they heat up, assemble, and package that expertly prepped food and hand it off to hungry customers. Colonel is packed with so much tech that Ells calls it a platform instead of a restaurant. There's an automated dispenser that presents fresh buns when a sandwich is ordered. There's a salad dispenser that shells out exactly the right amount of food. When your food is ready, you use your phone to pop open a locker. And the restaurant's manager is this integrated expediter system that keeps track of all these processes automatically. Chipotle was a very hands-on cooking place where you could see it all happening, and now you can still see it happening, but there is a robot involved. So how do you think people will respond to that shift?
Well, I can tell you how people have responded so far. But let me go back 31 years. Fast food was sort of very prescribed. You knew exactly what the experience was going to be like, and you knew what the food was going to taste like. The menus back then were dominated by, 99-cent value meals. In fact, I remember Taco Bell had a menu divided into 3 sections: 59, 79, and 99. And those were cents, to buy a food product, right? So you know what kind of integrity went into those things. People came into the first Chipotle and were expecting a sort of an easy experience, but there was a lot of friction. First of all, people made a beeline right for the cash register, and we'd have to point into the tortilla presses and say, no, you start over there.
Ells is betting he can get people through this initial learning curve and ultimately usher in a new era of restaurants that utilize robots alongside people. We went to try Colonel's plant-forward food, and honestly, it was incredible. We had plant-based chicken sandwiches that could fool any meat eater. It was an 8 out of 10 in my book. The falafel sandwich was even better. I'd call it a 9 out of 10. The cucumber and beet sides completely blew us away, with complex flavors that you won't get at a normal lunch spot. Plant-based food may not be for everyone, but Ells makes a convincing case to change that. One key concern with Colonel is the automation of jobs. While many are afraid of automation, Ells sees Colonel as empowering for workers. Since the business model requires fewer employees, Ells says Colonel can give each one a better job. Colonel employees start at $25 an hour, which is far higher than New York City's minimum wage of $16 per hour.
And so really what we're doing is we're reinventing the McJob. And I've seen that it's harder and harder and harder to attract and retain great people for 2 reasons. 1, the pay, the overall pay package, and 2, the work itself. So we have the ability to start people out at much higher hourly rates because we only have 3 people working in the restaurant, and give them full benefits, medical, dental, vision, paid vacation. We're working on an equity plan, a stock option plan for our hourly folks.
While this sounds good, we're skeptical of this plan working more broadly. Steve Ells is playing nice. But what if Colonel catches on like Chipotle did? How do you ensure that other restaurants will take those profits and give them back to employees as Colonel is doing? Wouldn't it make more sense to just give those employees the same shoddy jobs the fast food industry offered before, while corporations take the profits for themselves?
I mean, how do you see this playing out, if say, a McDonald's or a Chipotle or someone were to start doing this? How can you trust other employers to be as responsible as you've been?
I think that you have to look at Colonel as a platform.
Right.
And there are a lot of efficiencies to be gained by that platform.
Sure.
And there is the ability to make better quality food, and there's the ability to provide a better work experience and better compensation. Right? You have to provide work that's meaningful. You have to engage people and allow them to do things that they're proud of and things that are fun to do. And if you combine that with higher wages and benefits, then I think you've got a good winning formula. I'm not sure that with the first restaurant I got the brand just right. I think we got the operating platform just right. I'm super proud of the quality of the food, and the system is very accurate. It might be a bit cold, so we're already redesigning the second restaurant to be maybe a little bit more hospitable. Maybe I went a little too far with the future forward kind of look. I'm not afraid of a little bit of friction. I'm not afraid to mix it up just a little bit, because I think the platform is the platform for the future. It solves a lot of problems, and I think and ultimately will make fast food offerings much, much better. Just like Chipotle paved the way for so many fast casual restaurants that are now serving absolutely delicious food.
So this is a pretty radical idea for a restaurant, and Ells acknowledges that. But he's convinced he can take his expertise from building out Chipotle and create the next empire of American fast casual. But the question is, are you okay taking your order from a robot?